Crawford wants this fight a lot. He wants this fight, and I think he will be more active than Canelo's previous opponent, and he has different mentality. He has champion mentality.
Someone like Canelo fighting against Crawford, you need more than power, you need more than speed, you need ring IQ, you need literally everything, because this is the two best pound-for-pound fighters.
It's a real risk there for him for taking the fight. I mean, you know, of course, he's like any other champion. He wants to make you guys celebrate what y'all want to make us pay for it, which is smart.
The boxing world is buzzing after Turki Alalshik officially announced the upcoming fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. In his tweet, he declared, "We will deliver the fight of the century with Riyadh season on September 12 at Las Vegas Allegiant Stadium." The legend Canelo defends his Ring Magazine title versus the great Terence Crawford. TV platform will be announced soon with big surprise. My brother Dana White will promote this first TKO boxing event with me. It will be something crazy. With this first face-off, the boxing world is electrified, eagerly awaiting what promises to be an unforgettable showdown. During Canelo Alvarez's post-fight celebration after defeating William Skull on May 3, 2025 in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Turki Alalshik orchestrated the first face-off between Canelo and Crawford. This surprise moment occurred immediately after Alvarez reclaimed his status as the undisputed super middleweight champion. The fight has sparked a wide range of reactions from boxing legends, analysts, and fans alike. Dimmitri Bivival, who previously handed Canelo Alvarez a rare defeat, believes that Terence Crawford's desire and activity level could pose significant challenges for Alvarez. Bivival emphasizes that Crawford's mental readiness and adaptability are crucial factors that could help him navigate the power and pressure at 168 pounds.
Crawford wants this fight a lot. He wants this fight, and I think he will be more active than Canelo's previous opponent, and he has different mentality. He has champion mentality. I think the fight will be much more interesting.
What do you make of the weight in that fight, the weight difference?
I think Crawford will not let Canelo just walking on the ring when he wants, you know, because we could see this fight. Canelo did everything. When he wanna rest, he could rest easy, you know, in this fight. Yeah, of course, when he wants to work, that guy didn't give him work. He did just rest. And I think with Crawford, it will be harder to rest.
Who do you think wins?
I don't know. It's a very interesting fight, but I don't know. We'll see.
Former world champion Amir Khan, who has faced both fighters, highlights the importance of boxing intelligence in this matchup. Khan asserts that while Canelo may have the power advantage, Crawford's superior ring IQ, movement, and speed could be the deciding factors.
And it could have gone either way, because I had probably Skull winning by 2 rounds. I mean, I like Canelo. I think he's a great fighter, but the thing is, I think that he was looking he was picking the shots better and landing the better, cleaner shots. Canelo was marked up a little bit, but look, it could have gone either way. Anyway, regardless how the fight went, it was a great performance by both fighters, but it's made a bigger fight happen now with Canelo and Crawford. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
Is there more question marks being asked in that fight now? Because a lot of people say, look, Canelo's a bigger guy. He should technically be the bigger guy, have too much weight for Crawford, but from that performance, do you feel like it's a lot tight and there's a lot more question marks in that fight?
Yeah, I mean, you need more than size, you need more than weight, you need more than everything. I mean, I think what you need now is you just need box IQ, the right box IQ, you know what I mean? You need to be smart. And someone like Canelo fighting against Crawford, you need more than power, you need more than speed, you need ring IQ, you need literally everything, because this is the two best pound-for-pound fighters who are going to be fighting each other, even though Crawford is going to be giving away a lot of weight. But I feel that it could go either way.
Boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. points out that the outcome may hinge on Canelo's approach to the fight. If Alvarez enters the ring underestimating Crawford, believing he can easily outbox him, he might be setting himself up for defeat. Jones emphasizes the need for Canelo to respect Crawford's skills and prepare accordingly.
Favor in that fight?
You know, it's a hard one to call, and I'm going to tell you why it's a hard one to call. It's a hard one to call because it'll all be predicated upon how Canelo approaches the fight. If Canelo approaches the fight like he's the man and he can box and outbox Terence Crawford, he'll get beat. If he comes out and shows that he really wants to go out and prove the world he's still the best, he might win. So it all depends on which Canelo come to the dance.
And just two more. Jaron Ennis, a lot of people say there's similarities between you and him. What do you think of this fight coming up with Stanionis?
We're going to find out a lot about Jaron Ennis against Stanionis because Stanionis is a very good prospect, up-and-coming. So,
Hall of Famer Juan Manuel Marquez expresses skepticism about the fight, cautioning that moving up in weight could be detrimental for Crawford. He believes that weight divisions are established to ensure fair competition and that Crawford might be overextending himself by challenging Alvarez at super middleweight.
I don't like the fight because Terence Crawford is a good fighter, but in the sport of boxing, it has divisions. You know what I mean? You know?
Right, weight classes.
You know what?
Right.
Yeah, weight classes
for a reason.
Weight classes for and Terence Crawford is a good fighter in super lightweight, welterweight, super welterweight, but I think more. I remember when Terence Crawford fought with Madrimov.
Yes.
He looks slow. He looks with no power, and three more divisions. Two more divisions. I think it's a top fight for Terence Crawford, but Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He has a great defense. He has a good combination punches, but I think the weight class is no good for him.
William Skull, who recently faced Canelo Alvarez, acknowledges the significance of the upcoming bout between Alvarez and Crawford. While he didn't provide an in-depth analysis, Skull recognizes the high stakes and the excitement surrounding the matchup.
No, el boxeo es una cajita de sorpresa, no se sabe. Hay que esperar la pelea ahí y después ver la decisión, pero todavía no tengo nada así claro.
Well, I really have nothing much to say. Boxing is like a Pandora's box, so it's about to wait and see.
Terence Crawford views the fight as the most significant opportunity of his career. He acknowledges Canelo Alvarez as the face of boxing and is eager to showcase his skills on such a grand stage. Crawford's confidence and readiness to seize this moment reflect his ambition to cement his legacy in the sport.
Fighting boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there, so that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
You'll see. Come 12.
Everyone's talking about the weight differences. What's your kind of response to that, Terence?
That's why we fight the fight. So September 12th, we all going to see if the weight going to make a difference or not.
Do you want to fight him twice and then retire? Is that kind of the ideal thing for you?
One fight at a time. One fight at a time.
Canelo Alvarez hopes that Crawford approaches the fight with a mindset geared toward delivering an exciting performance. Reflecting on his bout with William Skull, Alvarez expresses a desire for opponents who aim to engage rather than merely survive the rounds. He believes fans deserve a thrilling contest and expects Crawford to rise to the occasion.
That's a mediocre mind because they come just to survive, to go to the 12th round. That's a mediocre mind. You need to put a good fight there and put great show. You know what I mean?
Do you think Crawford will employ the same tactics to try and box?
I hope not. I hope not because the people deserve a good fight.
What do you make of the Crawford fight next?
Huh?
How excited are you for the Crawford fight?
I'm excited. I'm gonna enjoy this win and then we think. Yeah, do it.
British welterweight Conor Benn sees the fight as evenly matched, describing it as a 50-50 inches contest. Benn's assessment underscores the competitive nature of the bout, with both fighters bringing unique strengths to the ring.
With Crawford going up, I believe he can put a beating on anybody 154, 160.
But not 68.
Nah, Benavidez is...
Canelo. Yeah.
Oh, Canelo. I think he's a smart fighter. He doesn't rely on his power. Crawford ain't a fighter who just relies on his power. And then Canelo, you know, when he's fought Belenga, then fought Ryder, Munguia. It's even. I think it'd be a 50-50 fight if Crawford fought Canelo.
Some observers have raised concerns about Canelo Alvarez's recent performance against William Skull, noting a perceived decline in his agility and overall dominance. Critics question whether Alvarez can maintain his elite status against a formidable opponent like Crawford, especially given the low-output nature of his last fight.
After really the Triple G fight is when we've seen the slippage on Canelo. And over the last 2 years, it's been immediately apparent. It's been apparent straight away over the last 2 years. Canelo's feet have always been slow. He's always been very slow-footed. So when people are saying, oh, it looks like his legs are slowing down, yeah, they are. They've never been quick, but now they're even slower, which is a problem. And Jim Lampley on commentary on Friday night show was saying that one of Canelo's biggest strengths is his legs. It generates power and it helps with his punch resistance. Well, those legs are sliding and that power is diminishing. Canelo hasn't had a stoppage win now since he knocked out Plant in 2021. And yeah, he's dropped some of these guys, but he's not been able to step on the gas and finish them. He's not been able to go through the gears. His gas tank, you can put that into question as well. And Canelo Alvarez, come July, be 35 years old. So he is, look, Canelo's been around so long and his real prime was in his mid-20s. So we associate Canelo, mid-20s to early 30s. So we kind of associate Canelo with that. I don't want to say ever young, but you know, he is still young, just not in boxing senses. But he's been around so long, 20 years a pro, and he's been at world levels for probably 15 of those. You're going to expect some slippage. And I think in this fight, an opponent, it was very negative, yes, but an opponent who Canelo Alvarez of 5 years ago would have handled, and he did handle him, but you know what I mean, he probably would have put some damage on William Skull. He didn't do anything. He didn't look good. And William Skull played his part in that, it has to be said. As I said, you fight that negative, there's only so much you can really do, you know? Even if you're Canelo Alvarez, even if you are Alexander Usyk.
Trainer Joel Diaz argues that the size difference between the fighters could be a decisive factor. He believes that Alvarez's ability to absorb punches from larger opponents gives him an edge, suggesting that Crawford might struggle to make a significant impact at the higher weight class.
A lot of people that say that Crawford can beat Canelo, no problem. I mean, I respect that, but I just think they're stupid. I mean, excuse my language. The size difference of a bigger man changes everything with one punch. And I can see the same thing. I mean, you saw Canelo Alvarez fighting Amir Khan. Now, look at this. Terence Crawford moved from 47 to 54 to fight Madrimov. What did he do to Madrimov? Nothing. A lot. Okay, Madrimov was a 54-pounder. Now, to move up to 168, that's 2 more divisions. Canelo Alvarez will take any punch from Crawford, but I don't think Crawford will take any punches from Canelo. Remember, Canelo got hit by Triple G, the heaviest hitter in that division. And Canelo took those shots like a champ. I don't think Crawford has anything to beat Canelo.
Former champion and promoter Oscar De La Hoya expresses skepticism about the fight, labeling it a money grab. He emphasizes the historical precedent that a smaller, skilled fighter rarely defeats a larger, equally skilled opponent, casting doubt on Crawford's chances at super middleweight.
William who? Canelo versus William Skull.
William who?
Oscar being back in New York over here.
No, let's just say Canelo Crawford, in the history of boxing, and this is the facts.
Let's get it.
If you see Thursdays, Fact Thursdays, I speak the facts. All right, I'll even do it for you. A good little man has never beaten a good big man in the history of the game, unless you go back to certain situations with Pacquiao beat me, but I was a dead man walking anyway. But a good little man never beats a good big man, so it's a tough test for Crawford, but I'm not counting him out. The bottom line, and this is the truth again, it's a money grab. That's it.
Yeah. But Crawford doesn't rely on his power, he relies on his IQ. Crawford, what he did to Spence was magic, was incredible, was amazing. And so, look, one thing about Canelo is that we all know that he walks in the ring as if there's wet cement, right? His footwork is a little too heavy. Crawford is such a smart fighter where he can he's like Bruce Lee, literally. And he's in his peak, he's in his prime, and so I think that if that fight ever happens, which I don't think it will, if that fight ever happens, I have to go with Crawford.
There you have it, Oscar De La Hoya talking about Crawford.
Super middleweight contender David Benavidez believes that Terence Crawford's exceptional skills and work ethic could lead to an upset victory over Canelo Alvarez.
The Ring magazine, which is owned by Turkey, reported that Canelo and Crawford have agreed to the September date and that it's essentially on. What is your I know this has been rumored and talked about, but now it seems like a done deal. What's your reaction to this?
It's a good fight. You know, it's a good fight for both of them. Good fight for, I think it's more important for Crawford than anybody, you know, but I think if anybody could beat Canelo, I think Crawford could.
I know you said like he could be the guy. What kind of a chance do you ultimately give him?
I think you give him like a 7 out of a 10.
Oh, wow, that high. I thought you were going to say like 25
no,
just because
Crawford
of the
is
size.
good. Crawford is good, and
of course.
I think he's been known that he's going to fight Canelo for a long, long time. And you know, Crawford he likes to pick up the weight, so I'm sure he's been working on the weights for a long, long time. So, you know, Crawford, when he has with a person that has a big IQ like that, if you do enough weights, you know, and you stay working for a long time, you know, you have a puncher's chance.
Unified heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk emphasizes that in boxing, skill often trumps size. He suggests that Crawford's technical prowess and sharpness could give him the upper hand, despite Alvarez's natural size advantage.
A potential fight between Canelo and Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
How do you see that fight? Who
I
do you
like Terence. It's
Wow.
my friend, but it's crazy, man. Listen, I say Terence win. Yes.
What? Terence win over Canelo?
Yes, Terence win. But listen, Terence, it's different, man. Terence work in две стойка.
Two sides.
Two sides.
Right.
And
Right.
Switch hitter.
Yes.
He's a switch
Yes.
hitter.
Yes.
Right and left. But it's very smart, man. It's very, very, very smart. But feel distance and plays like
Adjustments.
Spacing,
Exactly.
boxing.
You don't think the weight difference will be a factor too much?
Mario, you're asking him?
That's why. That's why I'm asking exactly.
But, Canelo big, yeah. Canelo too. It's a good boxer, but I say Terence.
Former welterweight champion Shawn Porter, who has faced Crawford, raises concerns about Crawford's ability to withstand Alvarez's power. While acknowledging Crawford's toughness, Porter questions whether he can endure the physicality of a naturally bigger and stronger opponent like Canelo.
The others say, like, no, that's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down, you know. So I think, if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he's still got that kind of steam. But, you know, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a great, a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily when we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo have, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another, you know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we see how that panned out, you know what I mean? So
Promoter Eddie Hearn describes the matchup as a freak fight, highlighting the significant weight disparity between the two fighters. He warns that even if Crawford performs well, the size difference could be a substantial obstacle, and a victory for Alvarez might not carry the same weight due to the mismatch in natural sizes.
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many. But Crawford's brilliant. Like, he's a genius. He's a generational great. So maybe he can find a way to do it. But I feel he'd be hugely outsized against Canelo Alvarez. Yeah. But you have to use your movement if you're Terence Crawford in that fight. The last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know.
Former super middleweight champion Caleb Plant praises Crawford's adaptability and unique boxing style. He believes that while the weight difference is a factor, Crawford's intelligence and strategic approach could make the fight more competitive than many expect.
Terence is not a regular guy. You know what I'm saying? He's special. And, you know, Canelo, he's a top-notch fighter, world-class fighter. Still on the pound-for-pound list, I'm sure, towards somewhere near the top. And, it's exciting. You know, Terence is freakishly strong. He can punch. He's got good crack. He can fight from both ways. Orthodox southpaw. He can fight at mid-range, close range, outside, and he can fight going both ways. So it's exciting. It's exciting. It's a big question mark on the end of it, though. So that's why I'm sure all of us are excited for that bell to ring and be able to find out firsthand.
Renowned trainer and commentator Teddy Atlas confidently picks Terence Crawford to win, citing his exceptional skills, mental toughness, and adaptability. Atlas believes that Crawford's refusal to accept defeat and his ability to adjust in the ring make him a formidable opponent, regardless of the weight class.
Well, come on, he's human. So he had a few hiccups. He won the fight. He's Terence Crawford. A lot of people say, "Oh, Teddy, you make him so good. You're always saying how great Crawford is." But who's he beating? He unified the what was his first division? Lightweight. Then he unified the junior. Then he unified the junior welter, then he unified the welter. I think I got the weight classes right. It doesn't matter. He unified like 3 different weight classes. He moved up in weight.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.